Yeah, that's true. And it's interesting because you're mentioning a lot about past, doing good. And in conversation as well, I was hearing some other gentlemen speak about how, I think actually it might have been Jordan Peterson, if I'm not mistaken, this understanding that at the end of the day, what counts is right now, because the past no longer exists. Like, what happened 10 minutes ago within our conversation is already, it's already done. And so what matters right now is is the present, because even the future, what's coming, also doesn't exist. So there's this very thin line between what has happened that no longer exists and what is yet to come that that still doesn't exist either. It has to be created. And so digging into that conversation, it was also really fascinating to understand that what's important is what good I can do right now.
And every good is another brick.
Yeah.
And we have to believe that there's more good being done than bad. Because we know there's bad being done, but we have to believe there's more good. And if we understand that our brains are constructed from a primitive perspective, we have to understand that we resonate with negative information more. So of course that's what's being put out there, and of course that's what's being seen more, because at the end of the day, if you know that ratings and your livelihood is based on people's attention, you know that negative information grabs attention. Are you really gonna be putting on media what's good? So if we understand that concept, we gotta believe that. We're just not seeing it. But is the world that we live in right now possible if there wasn't more good than bad?
Yeah, that's very, very, very true. When you look at it and in that perspective, it gives you this hope, this rush of like, okay, optimism. Like, if we've made it this far, certainly whatever bad has been done, the good is outweighed it. Because otherwise, we wouldn't be here to talk about it. So that's very fascinating, and it's also interesting because, like you mentioned, and it's something I've observed since a child. You know, just reflecting on my parents, particularly like my mother, especially reflecting on the pandemic, I would tell her day in, day out, like, turn the TV off, turn it off. And if you're gonna watch something, don't watch the news, because what are you doing to yourself but adding all of this like negativity? Like, yes, if is there something catastrophic going on, seemingly it seems like that for sure. There's a lot of things going on that are negative, but if like that's all if that's the anxiety that you're allowing into your system, like you're killing yourself and you don't even know it, because of all the worry, because of all the anxiety that you're creating, simply because of the things that are being projected to you. And so I could only imagine the amount of people that allow that to eat them away. The things that they're watching or seeing projected on television or
Human
otherwise.
conditioning.
Right.
But you can't tell them. You can't make sense to the senseless.
Yeah.
It comes with you doing. They have to observe you doing. So you have to understand the same way that you have the right to have your beliefs, and that is your belief, and that is the right way. Yeah. It's the same way that your parents have the right to believe that their way is the right way.
Sure.
So it's not. It can never be about telling someone, hey, don't do this, don't do that, because then you're also making the same mistake they're making. You actually have to just do and show the outcome of your life and hope that they're inspired by your actions.
Wow. That's fascinating. Man, Juan, again, I just want to thank you. A lot of gratitude also for bringing up, in conversation, allowing me to reflect right here in front of you on what massive accomplishment I was able to achieve in life very recently with this store opening, because it recenters me in allowing to embrace everything that I've been able to create and that will be created. And with that, we are what we believe.